We're on.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Two Fools in Fantasy Football. We have a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about top TD scoring offenses and the guys that will also be talking about the guys who we think will outscore their projections for this weekend. And we'll give an update on injury news and notes. I'm Marty McFly. And now, coming to the main stage, we have Tyler, the very uncool fool Greer.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm a fool, and I'm very uncool. Thank you for letting everybody else know about that, Marty. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's why we're friends. So, we have the top scoring offenses this season. We're going to go over how many TDs each team has, and how many they have for the run, how many they have for the pass, the team leader in TDs, and what percentage they are scoring of the team's total TDs. So we're going to start off number 9, coming out of Tennessee. The Titans, 20 total TDs this year, 7 on the run, 13 on the pass. We got D. Henry, the new beast, throwing people around. Josh Norman, I still don't think he's hit the ground. Sitting at 6 TDs this year with 30. That's 30% of the team's total TDs there. Number 8. Pardon me.
Hey, I went to Tennessee after that, and I saw an outline of Josh Norman's body. It was actually
really
under the turf. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Outline?
Yeah, chalk outline, okay. And he had it was still his imprint inside the grass. It was kind of cool. So
in the ground, wow.
Yeah, and they had number 29 on it too. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of awesome.
All right, coming in number 8, we're going back to the dog pound. The Browns, 20 total TDs. Well, we got 8 on the run, 11 on the pass. Old Kareem Hunt coming in with 6 TDs as well, tied with Derrick Henry. So 30% as well. We're going to go to the old Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Mafia!
With, that's right, 20 total TDs as well. Only 4 from the pass, only 4 from the run. So they're really kind of struggling with the run TDs this year, but we got 16 in the air. We have Diggs and Allen. They are both tied with 3 apiece. So combined, they're accounting for 3% of the team's total offense, but individually, it's 15% apiece. So,
can you say that one more time, Marty? You cut out a little bit on that.
Say again?
Can you say that one more time? You cut out on the last part where you're talking about Diggs and Allen scoring 3 touchdowns apiece.
Oh, sorry. So Diggs and Allen, they're both tied with 3 TDs apiece for the year, which accounts for 15% individually. So together, they're scoring 30% of the team's offensive TDs.
Yes, they are.
Number 6, out of Baltimore, the Ravens. 20 total TDs this year, 7 on the run, 10 from the pass. And we got the big man, the tight end, Mark Andrews. Great pickup for me last year in fantasy. I picked him up in a lot of leagues.
Yeah.
Killed it for me. 5 TDs this year, accounting for 25% of the team's total TDs this year. So now we got old Tyler here. He's going to give you 5 through 1.
Old Tyler. I'm not that old yet, but thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. So, anyways, a side note on the Ravens too, for all you math majors out there, 20 touchdowns, 7 and 10 is 17. They've had 3 on the special teams. 2 on defense, 1 on special teams this year. So that adds up to the extra 3 for the 20. And like we were saying the other day, Andrews, he's a stud. Keep him in your lineup. Just had 1 bad game. Don't sweat it. So he's a keeper all day. So coming in right above the Ravens, we have a 4-way tie for second. So I'm just going to say 2-2-2-2 for this one. So coming in second place is Tampa Bay. They have 21 total touchdowns on the year so far. They have 6 on the ground, 14 through the air. The leader in touchdowns for Tampa Bay is Mr. Mike Evans. He's had 6, which comes no surprise to anybody. He scored a touchdown in every single game except for last week. He had the ultimate bust last week. He got 1 reception, 10 yards. Tough day at the office, but it happens. So with his 6 touchdowns that he has, what?
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, it was a tough day. He's had 29% of the team's total TDs in his hands this year. Coming in at 2 again is Kansas City. Kansas City has another wonderful team, obviously, offensively, they're gifted as anybody else in the NFL.
Oh,
He had 21 total touchdowns this year, 5 on the run, 15 in the pass. So the one who leads Kansas City in all touchdowns this week, he just had 2 touchdowns on Monday night, Travis Kelce. He's a stud, period. So he's accounted for 24% of the Chiefs' total offense. A quick little side note for you Clyde Edwards-Helaire owners. He's had 1 so far on the ground. Patrick Mahomes has had 2. So catch up, Clyde. Okay, thanks, buddy. Next on the list is good old Dallas, the Big D, as some of us call it. They have, again, 21 touchdowns on there for you. And last night, Dallas got the big L. Just saying, just for you Dallas fans out there.
you don't have to rub it in.
I wasn't. Don't worry about it. Hey, we won this week, so I'm happy. You guys, no. So, anyways, they have 21 touchdowns coming. Yeah, those are fighting words. 21 touchdowns coming in this week. 9 through the ground, which isn't a surprise. 11 through the pass. The person who leads Dallas in touchdowns this year is Zeke. 6 touchdowns, not a surprise. He's going to be the workhorse. They're going to lean on him more now that number 4 is out, unfortunately, for the year. We'll see how their offense revolution goes throughout the year, how it evolves and all that stuff here. With that, Zeke is at a 29% rate for the touchdowns for the team of Dallas. So the team no big deal. And coming in number 2, the team that smoked Dallas last night, the Arizona Cardinals. They have 21 touchdowns too as well. This one, they had the most balanced run to pass ratio for the touchdowns, which is very impressive. They have 11 touchdowns on the ground. They have 10 passing through the air. The leader of the Cardinals for the touchdowns, surprise, is Kyler Murray, their quarterback. He has 6. That's not including the 10 in the air that he's throwing. We're just total touchdowns here for him. So that includes 29% of the team's total touchdowns comes on Kyler Murray's feet. Number 1, the beast of the Northwest, the Seattle Super Hawks. They are incredible. 23 touchdowns, already had their bye week. This is how unstoppable their offense has been this year. With 23 touchdowns, 4 have come on the ground. That's it. Traditionally, they're a running team. They're totally flipping the script this year, which is awesome. They're letting Russ be Russ. It's phenomenal. With that being said, they have 19 through the air. The total touchdown king of Seattle is Chris Carson with 6 overall, which gives them a grand total of 26% of the touchdowns are going through Chris Carson via through the air and through the ground. And those are
DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf's going to have that title by the end of the year.
He's 1 behind. He has 5.
Mark it.
Lock it up.
Lock it up.
Lock it up, Captain. Put it in the bolt at the end of the year, and we'll see how wrong you were on that one, or how right you were.
Lock it up. You lock it up. You lock it up.
Right. Speaking of lock it up, Drew Lock. No, I'm just joking. We're not talking about him. So
no, we're not going to talk about that guy.
No. We don't want to talk about. No. We're cool. He still has like 3 weeks to do anything before we start talking about him. At least maybe 4. I don't know. We'll see. Just saying. So, all right, awesome. So now we're going to talk about this week's. We're going to talk about the people who are going to outscore their projections this week. We're going to give you the reason why, the facts, the stats, all that good stuff here for you. One of the games this week is the Chargers versus the Jaguars. If you have any Charger players whatsoever, the former San Diego Chargers, now the LA Chargers, just for you people who haven't seen football in a couple of years. The Chargers offense this week is loaded. They are playing one of the worst defenses in all of the NFL. Jacksonville Jaguars have a bottom 10 rushing defense, a bottom 10 passing defense. So if you have anybody, Herbert, Allen, Henry, Jackson, anybody from from LA whatsoever, play them. They're going to outscore their projections. They're going to have a great week. Mike Williams too as well. Him and Herbert had a great connection a couple weeks ago with the deep ball. You got any of those guys, play them. It's going to be phenomenal if you got those guys. And one of them could be a possibly week 7 winner for you. So another team, another matchup that we're really keen on, we're really focused on, where you're going to have a big week. A couple individual players. If you have Atlanta or Detroit, if you have Todd Gurley from Atlanta, Detroit is the worst defense against the run this year. So Todd Gurley should have a mega day. He should break all barriers. He should have at least 1 touchdown this week. I'm going to go on a limb and say about 100 yards, 1 touchdown at least. He's probably going to catch a couple balls there too as well. Now on the flip side, Atlanta has the second worst passing defense in all of football. They're giving up 335 yards a game. If you have Kenny Golladay, play Kenny Golladay. TJ Hawkinson, you got those guys, play them, no fear. Also, too, a stud this week, Matt Stafford, great matchup. If you have them, get them, no fear. If you can chain them or triple chain them with all 3 of those guys this week, anybody you can put in the passing game against Atlanta, put them in there right away. No hesitant, no second thoughts. They're the second worst team behind Seattle. So whoever Seattle is playing, whatever their matchup is, be confident in that too. They're going to outscore their projections. They're going to just kill it with this week. Their floor is so high, their ceiling's even higher.
Yeah.
So
they're going to do great this weekend.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. If you're a Kenny Golladay owner, you got to be just jumping for joy knowing that you're playing one of the weakest pass defenses in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
Especially.
I think also, yeah, I think anybody in the Eagles too. Start every Eagle you have.
Yeah, against the Giants.
Boston Scott, Fulgham, Dallas Goedert. Since Zach Ertz, we talked about yesterday, Zach Ertz is out a couple weeks. Dallas Goedert, he's going to be killing it against that Giants, that horrible Giants defense.
The only thing with Dallas Goedert is be careful of his injury status, because if he does come back, he's not going to play all the snaps. So just temper expectations just a little bit on him. But he'll still crush it.
Right. Yeah. And also the Buccaneers start any and all receivers against the Buccaneers offense against the Vegas Raiders defense. They can't cover anybody in the secondary. And the fifth worst defense for receivers and quarterbacks this year. So start Tom, start Gronk, Chris, Mike, the new kid. Who's the new kid? Johnson. Yeah. If you can pick up Johnson, we talked about him. Pick up Johnson. I'll get him in there. If you get all 4 of them, get all 4 of them.
Yeah, you can see that Tom Brady's feeling really comfortable with Johnson. His number 3 was Scottie Miller at the beginning of the year. Scottie Miller, he doesn't go to him as much as he should with everything that's going on with all the new weapons he's got. Now that everybody's back in the fold, healthy, ready to rock, I expect Godwin to have a great game, but I expect the person to take off the most right now is Gronk. Last week, we saw the chemistry. Yeah. We saw why Brady got him out of retirement. We saw why Gronk came back. I think a lot of us forgot, Gronk took a year off. You take a year off, you lose a little bit with your football. You lose a little bit with your timing. You lose a bit with your routes. You lose a little bit crispness on your routes. It happens. Now that he's back, him and Brady got that relationship. It never left. You can see the friendship, the fun, everything there. So one of the pickups, if you can do it this week on the waiver wire, if you can trade for him, you can still get him really low. Gronk would be somebody that you should target or think about from this moment on for the rest of the year. And on top of that, he's going to be a matchup problem. We all remember how great he was, or still is, with the Patriots too as well.
Right. He was targeted 8 times, 5 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown last week.
Yep.
By far his best game this year.
Yeah. That was probably the angriest spike he's ever done too in the history of
Oh yeah. He hasn't spiked the ball in
2 years.
A year and a half. So yeah. 2 years. He had 2 years worth of spikeness built up in him to spike that ball. So yeah.
But I mean, he was on WWE though. I mean, he was a 24/7 champ. I mean, good.
He was a 24/7 champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lost in his front yard.
Yeah, not 42 times like R-Truth, just one. That's okay.
No.
Just one. That's all I need. So, one more in the last matchup we're going to talk about tonight is the Titans Steelers. For those who watched the Titans game against the Houston last week, both teams gave up a bunch of points. It was a slugfest. It was haymaker, 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 haymaker. This week, the Titans play the Steelers. If you have anybody in the Steelers, go ahead and play them. James Conner is going up against one of the worst rush defenses in all the NFL. The expectations for James Conner is he's going to bust through the ceiling. He's going to have at least 1 touchdown, maybe 2, against the Titans front 7. They're a little weak on their whole defensive scheme. So if I expect James Conner to go through the roof, have a great game, it wouldn't surprise me to see him almost double his projections from what they're at. So I expect him to get at least 22 points or higher. I think that's a great call for James Conner. If you have him as a running back this week, play him with confidence. He's going to have a great week. If you can try to trade for him this week, try to get a trade for him this week before he blows up. Is if you don't get him this week, his trade value is going to go through the roof. Then he might not be able to get him for what he's worth. One more combo I want to talk about too this week.
Yeah.
The Titans' pass defense is bottom 10 too as well. If you have Big Ben, if you have Chase Claypool, go ahead and play him. If you need a quarterback to stream this week, Big Ben is a wonderful choice. I know he's not a top 10 quarterback, a top 15 quarterback. He's one of those guys you could probably pick up off the waiver wire for probably about 50% of your leagues. I'm just guessing here. I'm just kind of giving a rough estimate on that for 50%. Or if you can get a trade for him this week, if you need a quarterback to fill in, seeing that we have a couple teams on the bye weeks here with the Ravens, the Colts, the Dolphins, and Vikings. So there's at least one quarterback, Lamar Jackson, that's on the bye week. That's rostered in almost every single team. So he'd be a great substitution. Justin Herbert would be a great substitution too as well. If he's on your waiver wire, you can get him off there too as well. So 2 good quarterbacks to stream this week. Go get them, play them, no fear. Go rock it. Go win it this week. Get yourself a dub. Climb up that ladder and brag to everybody. Let's go.
Right. Let's do it.
That's right. Get your brag on this week.
We are 2 fools. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I seriously don't know where that came from. That was a very foolish comment.
I don't. But it felt good. It felt good to do it.
It did. I like screaming. I like loud noises.
I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
Oh my God! What's happening to me? All right. We are 2 crazy, stupid fools, and we love our fantasy football.
That's right. We do.
We do. Well, I hope you all enjoyed everything. I hope you got a lot of information. Please like, subscribe, click, share. We're 2 fools. We like to have fun. We like to give you stats, facts. We want to get you all the information out there, all the knowledge you can make so you can make the right, correct decisions based on what is on paper, what we see, what we find, everything. We'd like to give it to you firsthand. And if you lose, don't blame us. You can, but.
But we can't do anything about it. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Click the bell icon to get notified of all of our new videos. And thank you, everybody, so much. Good comments. Write them down below. Bad and different. We like any and all criticism. So y'all have a wonderful Tuesday night, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you very much.
You guys. Thank you. Bye.